All right, guys, today we are doing lesson 7.6, day 1, all about circles. We've already talked about these a little bit with the diameter and radius, but we're going to learn more today. You need paper, pencil, calculator, formula sheet. Your notes are going to be on page 10 and 12. We're going to kind of jump around. And your homework is going to be on 9 and 11, and we're only going to do a few problems on those pages. And then we are also going to do some on paper when we get to the classwork. All right, the other thing that you need to have on your desk is this paper. So it reminds you what you should be doing for every single problem. Formula, work, answer, label. Okay, guys, that needs to be on your desk. At this point, it should be a habit. All right, this is at the top of page 10 in your note packet. We are going to fill in the names of these parts. Some of them we already know. This line right here, from the center to the edge, is a radius. Okay, that's a radius. We know that. This one that goes the whole way across the center from one edge to the other is called the diameter. Then, if you have a segment that goes from one side to the other of the circle, but it doesn't go through the center, that is called a chord. We learned about that earlier. Now, here's a different one, okay? See, this is pointing to the edge of the circle, going the whole way around. When I add up the sides of a polygon, it's called the perimeter. A circle doesn't have a perimeter. Why is that? Because you can't add the sides up. The perimeter of a circle is called the circumference. Okay, that's the circumference. Then, if I shade this in like this, that's the area. Okay, circumference is the edge, area is the middle part. Okay, key concept. How are radius and diameter related? Well, the diameter is 2 times the radius. And a radius is 1/2 of the diameter, or the diameter divided by 2. Okay, so let's review. If I gave you that radius is 5 inches, that's the radius. Radius is 5 inches. The diameter goes the whole way across, it would be 10 inches. If I gave you this one, let's say that diameter is 12 inches. So the diameter the whole way across is 12 inches. If I divide that by 2, I will have a radius of 6 inches. Guys, we've been practicing that. You should be pretty good at that. And at this point, you're going to need to know it. All right. Now, we are going to find the area. This is still on page 10. Okay. So what is this shape called? It is a circle. Now, guys, I am going to show you something. Over here, down at the bottom of your paper, you can write this. Okay. So the area of a circle is pi, area equals pi r squared. Write this down right now. Pi. If we are estimating, that's approximately equal to, that equal with the dot is approximately equal to 3.14. Guys, pi is the ratio of circumference divided by diameter. Circumference divided by diameter. Every circle in the world, if you take the circumference and divide it by its diameter, you get pi, which is approximately 3.14. Guys, if you look at the top of your formula sheet in that box, it says pi, it tells you 3.14 in that box. Okay. Now, that is an estimate because pi goes on forever and ever. This is an estimate for pi. Now, that is the area of a circle, pi r squared. Now, I'm going to teach you something very important right now. Okay. So, if I ask you to find the area of this circle, what did they give us right here? They gave us the radius. The radius is 5. So, our area is going to be pi r squared. Now, watch how I'm going to write this. I am going to show you two different ways. I'm going to leave pi as pi right now. So pi times the radius is 5 squared. So 5 squared is 5 times 5 is 25. So I can write my area as 25 pi square centimeters. This is what we call, exact. If they ask you to write an area of a circle in an exact way, you leave pi as pi. So that's 25 pi square centimeters. But if you're doing an estimate, okay, an estimate, you would put 3.14 for pi. So you would type into your calculator 3.14 times 5 squared. We're putting 3.14 in for pi. And when you type that into your calculator, you will get 78.5 square centimeters. Guys, that is an estimate, okay? If they ever ask you to leave it exact, you keep pi as pi. Exact estimate. These two things mean about the same. All right, now what is this shape? Again, it's a circle. Now, what did they give us here? This is the diameter. So the diameter is 8 centimeters. Before we do anything, we need to find the radius. Radius, we would divide that by 2, is 4 centimeters. Super important because our formula for area is pi r squared. Let's do this one exact and estimate. So exact, area, keep pi as pi, times 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. So our exact answer, exact, is 16 pi square centimeters. That's exact. And our estimate, we're going to put 3.14 in for pi. So area equals 3.14 times 4 squared. And when you punch that into your calculator, you are going to get 50.24 square centimeters. It's a 4. Okay. Exact has pi in the answer. Estimate, you use 3.14 for pi and get a number. All right, now turn to page 12 in your notes. This is page 12 in your notes. All right, circles need a special formula for their perimeter since we don't have straight edges that we can add. The perimeter of a circle is called, and we learned this earlier today, the circumference. Now, guys, if you look on your formula sheet, under circle, there are two formulas. One is C equals 2 pi r, and the other one is area equals pi r squared. So this one is circumference. Now, I need to show you something very important. Isn't the diameter 2 times the radius? Okay, here's a radius. If I multiply that by 2, I get the diameter. So a diameter is 2r, 2 times the radius. Look what we have in our formula here, 2r. there is another circumference formula, okay? You could also use circumference is pi d. This is the formula right here, the one that I'm circling in red. This is the one that is on your 7th grade formula sheet. But you will see later on in your math life that you can also say circumference is pi d, because diameter is 2 times the radius. These two things are the same, okay? I recommend using this one. So look at example 1. Find the circumference. Well, we look at our formula sheet. Circumference formula is 2 pi r. And guys, we write our formula, we follow all the steps for circumference just like we did with area, okay? Because we can't add the sides up. So if I ask you to find the exact circumference, I'm going to do circumference equals, this is the radius, okay? Radius is 5. 2 times, we leave pi as pi, times radius is 5. Okay, that's our radius. 2 times 5 is 10. So our exact circumference is 10 pi. Because you leave pi as pi, unit will be centimeters. Okay, just centimeters because it's perimeter. Now, if you want to estimate, you would use 3.14 for pi. So circumference would be 2 times 3.14 times 5. When you type that into your calculator, you are going to get 31.4 centimeters. That is an estimate because we're using 3.14. So if I ever ask you for an exact answer, this is what you use. Most of the time, we're going to put 3.14 in for pi. All right. Find the circumference. Well, circumference formula is 2 pi r. What did they give us here? They gave us the diameter. That's the whole way across. So that's the diameter. Diameter is 8. Wouldn't the radius be 4 centimeters? So let's go up here to our formula. So we are going to find our, let's just find the estimate. 2 times 3.14 times the radius is 4. So our answer is going to be 25.12. Circumference is 25.12. What's the label on this? Centimeters. And it's not squared because we're not finding the area. Now, guys, you need to pay attention if I'm asking you to find the area or the radius. Area of a circle is pi r squared. Circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Okay, both of these have a radius in them. All right, follow along in your Google Classroom. Show Miss Terizzi your note packet, which was page 10 and 12 right now.